So earlier I've mentioned to you, I also need to show you the compound angle to find the specific angle. Yeah. So they are actually using the special angle. If you recall special angle we have 45, or 30, and also 60. Yeah. So mainly we use these three angle here. So you can see the example here. For example, cosine 45, about 75, sorry. I will think of the combination of 30 and 45. So it is equal to cosine 30 degree plus 45 degree. So this one will much rely on what you have memorized earlier about the special angle. But of course, you can use your calculator to get a special angle by square the value, right? So, so you will then look at the compound angle formula here. So for this one, right, is cosine 30 plus 45. I will use the formula number 5 here. So just be careful. So this is plus sign, right? This will be minus sign. Bear in mind it is opposite. Yeah, the sign is opposite. So that's why, okay, for the part 1 here, the cosine 75, which is equal to 30 plus 45. It is equal to cosine 30, cosine 45, minus sine 30 degree, and then sine 45. Then after that, you can just write the special, write the exact terms for them, exact value for them. Yeah, you can also get it from calculator. Otherwise, you can just memorize them. So for the cosine 30 degree, right, it will be just square root 3 over 2 times cosine 45. Then this is half, and then this is this. Yeah, but otherwise you can just get from calculator and then square it. So for example, if you punch in cosine 30 into the calculator, it will give you yeah, I give you 0.154, something like that. So then you will just square it. Okay. So once you square it, right, it will give you 3 over 4. Then after that, you just square root the answer here. Then you will get this thing. But be careful about the sign lah. So sometimes, right, if let's say you get yeah, just by the way, remind you on this one. Let's say you get 120 degree, then your calculator will give you actually negative 0.5. Yeah. Then this one, okay, sorry. I mean the other one. Let's say you have this one. Cosine 150 degree. Then it will give you this one, right? So of course we want the exact form. Then you will do the square. But when you do the square, right, be careful, because you should actually keep the negative sign still. So you will get this one. So when you write, you must be careful about the sign. Yeah. So although we actually square it and then we square root it, right? But the original signs will remain. Because the purpose we actually square it is to get the exact form. So this is something you must be careful of. Okay, then yeah, then up to here will be just a simplification of the number. So you can get that this is both the denominator is 2 square root 2 raw. So this one. And then yeah, we can then rationalize it. So you will get 4 at the denominator and square root 6 plus square root 2. Because the question asks us to find the exact value. Yeah, so this is how you do it. Okay, part 2, something interesting. Having the sine square 22.5 degree. So if you look at this one, you can see that there's a square here. And the 22.5 degree, you can think of 45, is actually half of it. So right, for the question like this, I will think of the double angle formula, this one. And since it's a sine, so I will use this one. So in this case, right, that means, right, our 2a in this case is 45, and the a is 22.5. Yeah. So if you actually apply the formula, since we're actually having cosine 45 is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square A at 22.5. So if you rearrange them, right, you will get the sine square 22.5 degree equal to 1 minus cosine 45 divided by 2. So then you can just apply this thing. Okay, so this is again related to the chapter of surds about how you simplify them. So you can see this one, probably I will put a half in front first. So this one, I will combine the terms inside first. So I will get combine as a square root 2 minus 1 here. Then, right, I multiply square root 2 at the denominator because I want to rationalize it. So I get 4 as a denominator. And then this one, if I do the rainbow expansion, square root 2 times square root 2 is 2. Then the other one is negative 1 times square root 2. So it's this one. And so there's the answer. Or else, right, you can also split them out. If you want, you can split them into 2 over 4. Then this one. So it is equal to half also. So this is another way to show it because they want the exact value. Okay. The last one is a part 3, which is cosine. Yeah, this one. So let me copy it to here. So when I see this one, right, 15 degree, I will actually think it as 30 degree divided by 2. So to do this question, I see the power 4, right? But there's a minus sign here. So it is something like a to power of 4 minus b to power of 4 like that. So you can actually see it as this one. So then it actually means what? Isn't it is something like a x squared minus y squared? So right, you can actually become a squared minus b squared here, a squared plus b squared here. So a squared minus b squared can split further again. So rather complicated lah for this one to be done. So what we need to do, so what is the a in our case here? The a is actually cosine 15 degree. And the b here is actually the sine 15 degree. So first step is to find individual term, the a and the b, the value of a and the value of b first. So before we proceed, we need to find cosine 15 degree. So like I mentioned, it is actually half of the 30 degree. So we may think of using the double angle formula. So again, referring to the formula list here, you can tell that for the cosine 30 degree, right? So we will use this one. So we have actually cosine 30 degree is equal to 2 cosine square 15 degree minus 1. And then if you rearrange it, then cosine 30 degree square root 3 over 2. So yeah. Okay, this one is a simplification terms. So you get this one. Okay. So then as for this one, right, of course, if let's say we are going to get the cosine 15, we will end up with this one. But right, it's actually a plus minus, but you can tell that the cosine 15 degree is obviously positive. We know it's possible to get the negative value of it, right? So that's why we just write the positive value of it. And then, right, to get the sine 15, right, you will realize that when you want to use to find the sine 15 degree, you are not going to use this formula. Instead, you are using this formula to find it. Because you realize that if it's using the sine 2a formula, it's not possible for you to actually find it. You were having, because you will contain both the sine a and cosine a. So usually we will just use this formula here. The second, yeah. Okay. So then we will having the sine 15 degree. Oh, okay. I think I will just use the second. Okay, sorry. This one I think in case later we need to use it, only I apply. So I just directly use the cosine 30 degree is equal to 1 minus sine square 15 degree here. So rearrange. Then simplify. You will get, yeah, okay. So after you have obtained it, right, I will just sub it into this format first. Yeah. So it's the a square minus b square, and the other one is a square plus b square formula. So then it will be equal to the a square is the cosine square, cosine square 15 degree here. So it will be this one. Then minus this one. Okay. And the other one is the a square plus b square. So it's when they add together. Then I will just simplify. So it will be square root 3 plus 2 minus 2 plus square root 3 here. Whereby the other one is square root 3 plus 2 plus 2, then minus square root 3. So then you realize, okay, the denominator anyway can combine to be a 16 here. As for the numerator, you can tell this one cancel. So you left with 2 square root 3. And for the second term here, the square root 3 cancel. So it's multiplied 4 here. So you'll be just simplification of it. So your answer is square root 3 over 2. Yeah. So, yeah, this is how you can solve this question a bit. So need to come out a plan first before you can solve this question. So what I want to actually emphasize to you here is that, for example, when we want to find the cosine square 15 here, right? So I mentioned to you that we will use this formula, cosine 2a equal to sorry. Yeah, I mean, for this one, right, I will use how to say, I will use this one, cosine 2a equal to this one, 2 cosine square a ma. So you see this one, to find the half angle, or maybe, yeah, the so-called using the double angle formula, right? I will actually use a cosine 2x equal to 2 cosine square x minus 1 formula. And then when I want to find the sine square 15 degree, right, I will still using the cosine 2x formula. When I want to find the sine square 15 degree, right, I will not use the this formula. I will not using the double angle formula for not using the sine 2x formula. I won't use it. The reason is because you involve the cosine x as well. So unless you have the information, otherwise we will usually not using it. So basically, right, when you want to find the half angle from using so-called half angle, right, you will actually not using the sine 2x formula. Instead, be it you are trying to find the cosine 15 degree or the sine 15 degree, you are utilizing the cosine 2x formula. So this is what I want to highlight to you. Okay. Then, yeah, just more example like this. So this is quite similar to just now the question. So probably I will skip this one. Then, yeah. So cosine 75. So just give you a few hints here. So for example, cosine 75, you can think of special angle 35, about 30 degree and 45. So things like that. Yeah. And then the subsequent part, for including also like solving equation. So the solving equation, as per previously I mentioned to you, you actually simplify them into the basic trigo, and the right hand side usually we deal with it is a constant, is a number. So for cosine 75, once you achieve it from the previous part, you will be able to get the exact form. Then you can just put them in to solve the equation. So this is what it means here lah. Okay. So tangent is something I haven't show you. So I will just show you the tangent in this case. So tangent 15 degree. Okay, so obviously we are using the double angle formula. Will be this one. So you can tell that 15 degree is actually half of the 30 degree. So I will use the formula of tangent 30 degree is equal to 2 tangent 15 degree divided by 1 minus tangent square 15 degree. So if you want to make it easier, okay, I mean tangent 30, right? Okay, you have to get the special angle, I mean the exact form as well. Okay, okay, so tangent 30 is, yeah, this one over square root 3. So it is equal to 2 tangent 15 here, divided by 1 minus tangent square 15. So we just cross multiply it. Then you rearrange them. Oh, okay, for this one, right, you would definitely, or not using the calculator for the mod 33 to solve it, because, right, you have a 2 square root 3 in front. So how to do this kind of question, right? Because it's become a quadratic equation already. So we can actually use the quadratic formula to solve it. Using the quadratic formula to solve it. So you get tangent 15 is equal to negative b. So the plus minus square root, the b square minus 4ac. So will be this one. Divided by 2a. So you will get this one. The b square minus 4ac can just punch in calculator. I get 16. So you become 4 divided by 2 then. So then I simplify further, I get negative square root 3 plus minus 2. Yeah, so again, right, you must think of it, 15 degree is actually acute angle. So that means the value you are obtaining, right, definitely will be a positive answer. So you can see that the negative, this one is not possible. So we will reject the answer. So it will just be equal to square root 3 plus 2. So reject negative 3 minus 2. Okay. So the part 2 for this one, right? Tangent 15 degree equal to this one. So we can actually utilize the formula of this thing here, secant square. Yeah. So isn't it we having tangent square 15 degree plus 1 is equal to secant square 15 degree. Correct. So yeah. So they ask us to prove that it will be, if you divide by 4, you shall get the answer, right? So this is what they ask us to prove it for the part 2. So what we can do, right, you can utilize the part 1 answer. So since we already have the part 1 answer, we can actually see that we can just sub it into the tangent 15 degree here. So we will have this one, square plus 1 divided, oh, wait. I think secant square 50. Oh, so sorry. I think I made a mistake. Okay, again. For the part 2. So the part 2 here, right? They ask us to prove that they will be the same. So I think we will instead, right, have to find this one. So for this one, right, the secant means actually 1 over sine square 15 degree. So this is equal to we will then use a double angle formula like previously like that. So you can see that cosine 30 degree, same as the previous method, 1 minus sine square 15 here. So then rearrange them to get the so that is equal to 1 minus square root 3 over 2 over 2. Then you simplify it. So after we obtain this one, we can actually sub it back to here lah. Then you will get 1/4. Then it will be actually 1 over. So you can flip it. Simplify. Then you can rationalize it. Oh, I made a mistake. It is cosine square instead, right? Not the sine square. So sorry. Yeah, secant square is actually reciprocal of cosine square. So it's actually like that. Yeah. Okay. So I need to amend. So it becomes plus sign instead. So it's this one. Then yeah. Yeah. So it's a plus sign here. So that's why when I do a rationalize, right, it's minus instead. So it become 2 square minus bracket square root 3 square here, and then 2 minus square root 3. Then is equal to 2 minus square root 3 lor. Then the denominator will be 4 minus 3. So it's 1. So it ends up, this is the answer.